The blend and coming together with the different botanicals and just the vision behind them.
Good question. You know, we started with the categories. So like, there's no teas out there that I'm aware of that are specifically guy focused. There's probably some teas that are more girl focused. But what are most people looking for in a tea? They're most of the time they come to us for a particular mood or a particular functionality. Even though we don't sell our teas necessarily as a whole on functionality, but we thought, what if we had a fun spin on it? So we started with, you know, what's a good feel better? And then what are some herbs and botanicals that focus on feeling better? And happy tea. Like, what are some flavors and aromas and sensations and herbs focused on happy? And so we took sort of the functionality, the general functionality of these different categories, and then started looking at Ayurvedic and Western systems and how they can complement each other. And so that was sort of the thought process on building these out.
Can you talk again about the licorice, and you were talking about the pH in the digestive system and how it actually helps what did you say, the healing in the stomach lining?
Sure. So licorice is known to have natural steroids within, and when we think of steroids, we think of like an injection or like amino acid pills to body build or whatever. But it has natural steroids within it that help rebuild the stomach lining, and in turn helps neutralize the pH balance in the stomach. According to Ayurveda and many other healing modalities out there, it's a balance between acid and alkalinity. Say that right? Alkalinity? Yeah. Okay. So it's this balance between the two, and having foods that, in our culture, things tend to be a little bit more acidic. Processed foods, you know, and overly processed foods with lots of hormones and so on and so forth. And having foods in our culture that are a little bit more alkaline will help neutralize the excess acidity. And licorice is one of those botanicals that helps to neutralize the acidity. Eating and drinking organic is also very important. You know, beating a dead horse here by, you know, I'm sure that all of us we live in Southern California. If we were living in Kentucky, I'd be like, guys, here's organic and here's why it's important. Not that there's anything wrong with Kentucky. You know? And, you know, I think even with you working with UPS, isn't Kentucky like one of like the main destination points for, you know, I don't know. But Southern California, we're all aware of organic. We're also all aware, like in science class, you know, about what happens. You might have heard or might have read about, you know, people talking to plants and what that does to a plant, and, you know, not talking to plants. There was a case even in India, just outside of Bombay, where they had a Brahmin priest going with wheat seeds in a dish, doing a mantra over the seeds. And then in another room, same light, same environment, same air, same everything else. And the difference in the vitality between the priest doing the mantra and the other one just growing in its normal environment, the difference in vitality between the two. So much of this stuff, remember we talked earlier about that patient going to see 3 different doctors and really relating to one doctor. It's not that one doctor was giving something different. They were all 3 doctors were giving the same thing, but that the intention behind that one doctor was where that healing process could really happen. So that same relationship can happen with how we relate to the teas and the foods and the herbs that we consume. So if we're able to consciously be mindful of what we're consuming, I think on many levels we're able to have a more enriching life for ourselves and for those close around us as well.
sparked another question I wanted to ask you about. When you talk about alkalinity, what do you think about using alkaline water for brewing tea? 'Cause I know they talk a lot about using fresh, like spring water, and and not to use distilled water. But what do you think about alkaline water?
In Japan and Korea, there's a big movement on alkalized water. It's big, and I've had tea that was made with alkalized water that was not even heated. There was something about the water that was able to pull out the flavor and pull out the color very quickly. Alkalized water is used in, I was speaking to someone that owns a chemical company. They sell bunny suits and stuff like that for people that put the computer parts and stuff like that together. They said to clean floors, to clean like hardcore substance off the floor, to pull the dirt off the floor, they'll use a highly alkalized water to pull it. So alkalized water is good for getting extraction out, but it can be dangerous if it's too alkalized. It can be harmful, and as long as it's within moderation and somewhat neutral pH, balanced water, I think that it's okay. Again, I'm not a doctor, and I'm not.
Didn't know if you had any thought on just like affecting a flavor profile.
I love the flavor of it, and I love the feel of it. It's like it sort of dances, and you don't know if it's moving in your mouth or if it's absorbed in your mouth. It's just like silky sensation. It's really interesting. You can there's a whole multi-level marketing platform for people that sell alkalized water machines. So I don't think you need to spend, because it can be expensive. The alkalized bottled water is really pricey.
I get it delivered at home in 5-gallon
Nice.
bottles, like every couple of weeks or something like that. It's like $11 for a 5-gallon bottle, and then I just pour it into my little countertop deal. But you do taste the difference, and I started, kind of experimenting with brewing my tea with it.
How is it?
It's good. I mean, it almost feels like you get better absorption. I always feel like I get better absorption from the alkalized water anyway.
Yeah.
And then I started kind of experimenting with the tea, and it just kind of gives you kind of more like a lift, more of a lift.
Yeah, I would totally agree with that. And again, like using that, the guy's cleaning scenario where alkalized water is used literally to pull dirt deep within the floor. Just water. It's just water that's been alkalized. It's crazy. And they're selling this in like a hardcore chemical, setup. So if they're able to reduce that alkalinity to a consumable level, just imagine what it's able to do with the tea and the minerals and content that it's able to extract out and have it in a tea. It's pretty awesome. Cool. Guys, thank you so much for your time and sharing this journey of tea with me and art of tea, and really appreciate you guys taking the time, and it's been an awesome experience, so thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sommelier.
Yeah, if, you wanna, so we have these certificates of completion for taking this class, and so Linda will go ahead and pass it out, if that's okay. And we do have these teas available for sale, as well as other things available for sale, yeah, so again, thank you, enjoy, and look forward to learning with you guys in the future.